Ecclesiastes chapter 11, Living by Faith in Uncertain Times. Ecclesiastes chapter 11 encourages a way of life marked by courage, responsibility, and trust in God amid uncertainty. It continues the book's practical wisdom tradition, focusing on how to live faithfully when the future cannot be fully known or controlled. The chapter balances active engagement in life with a humble awareness of human limitation and divine sovereignty. The opening verses use the image of casting bread upon the waters to illustrate generous and open-handed living. The idea suggests acting in ways that may not produce immediate or predictable returns, yet are still worthwhile. Similarly, distributing resources broadly rather than narrowly reflects a mindset that is not controlled by fear of loss. The underlying principle is that life should not be lived in constant hesitation or caution, but with a willingness to act and give, even when outcomes are uncertain. This reflects a trust that increase and provision ultimately come from beyond human control. The chapter then turns to the theme of uncertainty and inaction. Natural examples are used to show that some events occur independently of human control. Rain falls when clouds are full, and certain outcomes unfold according to conditions beyond human influence. However, the focus is not simply on observation, but on human response. Those who wait for perfect conditions or attempt to eliminate all risk before acting will often find themselves unable to act at all. Overanalyzing circumstances leads to hesitation, while wisdom calls for steady and timely action despite incomplete knowledge. Closely related to this is the recognition of human limitation in understanding the broader workings of life. Just as natural processes are not fully understood in their entirety, so the full scope of divine activity remains beyond human comprehension. Life is shaped by forces that cannot always be seen or explained. This calls for trust in what is not visible, acknowledging that human perspective is limited while divine governance extends beyond what can be perceived. In response to this uncertainty, the writer encourages consistent and diligent effort. Work is to be carried out steadily across different times and circumstances, without knowing which efforts will ultimately prove most fruitful. The emphasis is not on controlling outcomes, but on maintaining faithfulness in action. This approach frames work as a form of responsibility rather than mere productivity, where effort itself has value regardless of immediate results. The chapter then turns to a reflection on life's dual nature. Life is described as something genuinely good and enjoyable, particularly in youth and times of strength. At the same time, it is accompanied by the awareness that hardship and decline will also come. Joy and limitation exist side by side, and neither can be ignored. This encourages a balanced perspective. Life is to be received with gratitude, yet without losing sight of its temporary nature. Awareness of mortality adds depth to enjoyment rather than removing it. The final section brings together enjoyment and responsibility. While there is encouragement to rejoice and make use of one's youth, there is also a clear reminder that human actions carry moral significance. Life is not simply for indulgence or careless freedom, but is lived under accountability. Every action holds weight in relation to divine judgment, which gives moral seriousness to even ordinary choices. This does not negate joy, but frames it within a larger context of responsibility. Taken as a whole, Ecclesiastes chapter 11 presents a vision of life that is both active and reflective. It calls for generosity in the face of uncertainty, diligence without guarantees, and trust amid limited understanding. At the same time, it affirms the goodness of life while reminding readers of its brevity and accountability. The chapter encourages a posture that is neither paralyzed by uncertainty nor careless in freedom, but one that moves forward with faith, responsibility, and gratitude. Ultimately, it teaches that while the future cannot be fully known or controlled, life should still be lived fully and faithfully. Trust, action, enjoyment, and awareness of accountability are held together in a balanced way, shaping a life that is both engaged with the present and mindful of what lies beyond it.
Chapter 11. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. Give a serving to 7 and also to 8, for you do not know what evil will be on the earth. If the clouds are full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if a tree falls to the south or the north, in the place where the tree falls, there it shall lie. He who observes the wind will not sow, and he who regards the clouds will not reap. As you do not know what is the way of the wind, or how the bones grow in the womb of her who is with child, so you do not know the works of God who makes everything. In the morning sow your seed, and in the evening do not withhold your hand, for you do not know which will prosper, either this or that, or whether both alike will be good. Truly the light is sweet, and it is pleasant for the eyes to behold the sun. But if a man lives many years and rejoices in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they will be many. All that is coming is vanity. Rejoice, O young man, in your youth, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth. Walk in the ways of your heart and in the sight of your eyes. But know that for all these God will bring you into judgment. Therefore remove sorrow from your heart, and put away evil from your flesh, for childhood and youth are vanity.